There's a segment where Randy says Edge has been carrying Christian this whole time, and it just comes off as something a heel would say. But anyways, they tease Randy versus Christian matchup before their matchup on Capital Punishment, but like a heel, Christian brings the security and chickens out. And they do this like the GM says something about like Randy has a concussion, which is total bullcrap. And so Randy's kicked out of the building, but Stone Cold comes back in and says Christian's not getting away without a matchup, so he pits him against Ray. And I find it funny because I remember a few months ago, Christian said you to Alberto Del Rio, I hate you because you hurt my good friend Rey Mysterio, and look what we got. So anyways, Christian versus Rey Mysterio, it was not a very good match. Christian botched once. I remember because like Ray kicked Christian. Christian was supposed to be set up for the 619, but his head hits the bottom rope, and so he immediately corrects himself by putting him on the top, by putting himself in the middle rope. But anyways, Nexus comes in because Ray has that matchup with CM Punk. So Nexus comes in, beats Ray up, and when Nexus leaves, Christian hits the kill switch on Ray as a message to Randy Orton. So, well, it doesn't. Well, for one thing, it made Ray look more like an underdog than he already is, but it didn't make Christian really look like a dominant heel. He has to look dominant if we're gonna take him seriously as a heel. And it still feels like Randy Orton's gonna beat him at Capital Punishment, which pisses me off. Alright, I really want Christian to have this victory to push him more as a heel, but he needs a dare I say, either a clean victory or at least he cheats without any interference, like that kind of victory, no interference from anyone. Like he can beat Orton by himself. So besides, next up, Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler versus Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston. Okay matchup. Evan Bourne gets to win after he pins Jack Swagger with the the airborne. Not really very interested with these two storylines. I mean, we saw Dolph and Kofi for the most part when they were in SmackDown, and Jack Swagger versus Evan Bourne. I really just can't get into this storyline, so I'm gonna leave that to you guys to comment on. Next up was the Roddy Piper segment. So basically what happened here was Roddy Piper brings out Riley and Miz. They talk a bit. Miz tells his side, Riley tells his side. Roddy gives Roddy does his thing. And then Stone Cold comes on and announces a match between Roddy Piper and The Miz, and Roddy agreed if it was up for $5,000. So they do a matchup, and Miz attacks Riley, Riley attacks Miz, which allows Roddy to get the roll up. 1, 2, 3. Roddy wins. Miz is shocked because he lost again. He gets tossed out of the ring by Alex Riley, and there's a stare down. So, looking forward to this. I'm pretty sure The Miz is going to win, but if I was a writer, I would let Alex Riley win because he's on a roll of momentum right now. He needs a matchup to really make him. He needs, like what they did with Daniel Bryan at Night of Champions. When he beat Miz cleanly, it made him. It pushed him over as like he could really challenge The Miz. At this point, it doesn't seem like Alex Riley can take on The Miz by himself, so he needs this victory at Capital Punishment. Next up, this was not part of the show, but this was freaking hilarious. It was an anti-bullying ad, sponsored by the WWE, and I'm just like, really? Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing the Miz thing, but anyways, how can the WWE support anti-bullying if this is a show that's about retribution, calling out people, calling people names, mocking people, getting into personal feuds, and all this, and they're somehow like sponsoring anti-bullying. No, it just doesn't work. Anyways, next up, was there was a Diva tag team. I mean, they got the face Divas versus the heel Divas, and I wasn't very interested until there was I don't know who was in the ring at the time. It was Kelly Kelly versus someone, I forgot who it was. I wasn't really paying attention, but it was Kelly Kelly in the ring, and something happens. It turns into a huge brawl, but Kelly Kelly and this one girl, I really don't remember who she was in the ring with. They're still legal in the ring. She hits her finisher, 1, 2, 3. Face Divas win. Then they do a tribute to Broadway, maybe because the Tony Awards were around this time. And after that, we have this one. I could have just skipped over, but this was so cool. It was a Stone Cold and promo CM Punk interview, and it was like Stone Cold. He was interviewing Andy from Tough Enough. CM Punk comes into the room, and they have a stare down, and it was like, I call this the ultimate showdown between beer and no beer at straight edge. It was very cool, actually, and these guys are actually very good in these backstage kind of things. Like, I don't know. There was just a certain sort of like, there's just like a certain chemistry that these guys have. Just because Stone Cold's character, he drinks beer. CM Punk's character, he's straight edge. There's just a certain like flavor that this scene had. I had to mention it. And yeah, it was actually also kind of funny to listen to CM Punk make fun of Stone Cold's like lines. But anyways, this is the final of my final note. It was John Cena versus CM Punk, non-title match. And for the most part, CM Punk dominated the match, which is obvious. Like, everyone knows John Cena's matches. It always starts out him getting dominated, and he hits the shoulder blocks, shoulder strikes. Then he hits the 5 knuckle shuffle. Then he tries to hit the AA. He doesn't hit it, and then he gets dominated some more. Then he hits the AA suddenly, or he hits the STF, and then he wins. But anyways, this match, it seemed like right at the point where he's about to hit the 5 knuckle shuffle, R-Truth comes in. He does his heel thing, like he steals a kid's hat, which allows CM Punk to hit the GTS and get the win, which is actually pretty good because it's amazing actually seeing Punk's picking up wins now. But anyways, this actually good because like it makes CM Punk look more like a threat for his match with Rey Mysterio. He needs to win one pay-per-view match. Like, I'm waiting until he wins one pay-per-view match, since he hasn't won one since I think it was Extreme Rules last year. But it makes CM Punk look good, and also makes Cena for once look weaker, and he needs to look weaker in order to make R-Truth look stronger. So all in all, not a bad night. There are some parts that I could have just been left out, but overall it was a good night, So next night is Power to the People, aka Viewer's Choice Night. So until next time.